All right, Kara, are we up? All right, we're up. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to our first ever LinkedIn Live at night. I got shit from Scott Leese and Justin Welsh last week. They're like, Jake, I joined theirs because I was like, hey, I just finished a run. And then they're like, no, Jake, yeah, you just do daytime stuff. I was like, man, that's not true. That's not me. I don't like to just do daytime stuff. So Morgan and I were talking, we thought this would be a good format for a lot of you as well too, just to, have the conversation around this. So Morgan, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to be here.
Yeah. So look, everyone. So the plan is this. I think there's a lot of advice, and Morgan, you can kind of share. I'd love to hear kind of your take on, what you guys and you and John are talking to your clients about as well too. But I think a lot of people right now are talking about things like empathy. They're talking about that people are nervous right now, for sure. And like Morgan, maybe you're seeing it too. I see a lot of SDRs are nervous. Salespeople are nervous about, what do I share? Should I be doing even outbound right now? Like I don't want to offend anybody. And so what I thought was important to do, and why I thought it was important to do with you is like, you're out there working with a lot of people in the front lines, and, having a lot of conversations too. And so I think giving people some real life examples versus like, this is what empathy is. It's like, I've been, let me tell you what's got me upset a little. Like people have confused pleasantries with empathy. Pleasantry, my friends, is saying, hey, yeah, I get it. Like, hey, it's a crazy time. Like, yeah, of course. Empathy is knowing what I'm going through. I'm a VP of operations. I'm a VP of HR. That's empathy. And I feel like that's what salespeople are struggling with, is like, how do you twist, kind of move what you're doing to fit that. So, I'd love to hear kind of your take on it, like what you're seeing, what your clients are saying. Again, Morgan has his, what did you call it? Your crunk cup?
The crunk cup. Yeah. So
I
had a happy hour last Friday, and I told everyone just to come with a drink. And so this is what I got from Disneyland and from Star Wars. It's like literally you go in the cantina and they give you like this cup, and I was like, yo, this is my cup from now on. So I just roll with it, and people vibe with it. So I'm like, all right, here we go.
I like it.
Hopefully,
I like it, man.
A crunk cup, you need to get one.
Crunk cup. All right. So what are you seeing, man? What are conversations that you're having? What are people talking about? Whenever people are giving you feedback, what are you hearing from people and SDRs and in terms of like, their sentiment?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really tough right now. Right. And I definitely feel for the SDRs that you just started, right? Like last month, and you don't know how to handle a regular objection yet, but now you got to figure out how to navigate this new landscape. So I feel for a lot of SDRs that are out there that have to go through that, because I'm getting hit up by a lot of them. And just trying to give advice where I can, but it's hard because you don't even have the fundamentals down yet. And now you have to go to an advanced level, which is what's happening right now. So it really depends, Jake, on first of all, what personas you're reaching out to on the advice I'm giving. But if your buyers are on LinkedIn, this is the time to I'm telling people, triple down on LinkedIn prospecting, because everyone's at home and they're just scrolling the LinkedIn newsfeed. And if you can come with a message that's unique and personalized, and again, we'll talk about what leading with empathy means and the ways that you can address that. But if you understand, first and foremost, Kevin Dorsey and I had a conversation about this last week, where your buyers are coming from, that's where you're going to start getting responses, and that's where you're going to start getting more meetings. And so I've been telling people, and John's been telling people, hey, we got to get rid of the generic cadences that are out there that were terrible in the first place. Now they're just worse at this point. And then also at the same time, figure out how can I be personalized and be unique in my touches. And I know people are going to be like, all right, how do I balance that? And we'll get to that. But the thing is that, like, that's what you should be thinking about from a ethos standpoint, because I'm just seeing a lot of people just going through the motion still, but now you're going to get exposed now more than ever. And that's speaking from all fronts. That's
the truth, man. And you hit it on the head too. It's like, it's not even their fault. They've just been thrown out there with about this much training. Most of that training's been around BANT or medic or command of the message or whatever it is. And they're like, wait, I'm supposed to do research ahead of time. I'm supposed to think about it. And that's where, look, I think for me in particular, that's where I've got a ton of empathy for what people are going through, because it's on training, man. It's on that. But look, we can't fix that now, right? We are where we are, right? So, I think the goal for tonight in particular for everyone, You know, Evan, what's up, Evan? I appreciate you tagging a bunch of your people in. Daniel, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. Sean Pritchard said, legends, let's get it. I'll take it.
Hey.
I'll take it. Sam, Jake crushing some White Claws. Don't judge. Don't hate, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. There's like some great TikTok memes right now about like college kids coming home in White Claws. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yo, TikTok. My girlfriend's like, yo, you have to download it. I've tried to stay away, and I got stuck like in a loop for like an hour. I got stuck, and I was like, I shouldn't have done this. Like I'm just donezo right now. I hate it. But
all right, we got to do you and John, me and John's not on TikTok, man. No way.
John's not on TikTok.
Come on, man. John ain't on TikTok, dude.
No way.
I want to see John on TikTok though. I want to see John's dance moves. I don't know.
Don't sleep. Hey, don't sleep. He actually can dance.
Can he? All right.
Yeah,
all right.
He actually can dance.
I guess John and I'll have to. We'll have to maybe John and I will do a joint TikTok or something to show him. Because John and I are into the same music, same everything. So we'll see. All right. So let's get into it. So here's what's up. So I've got a group of people, and for everyone who's on the LinkedIn Live too, feel free. Look, drop your messaging in here. Drop an email in here, etc. But I've got a whole bunch of people who pulled up, asked us to kind of take a look at their content. So my thought is, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. All right, let me see, make sure I can do this. Let's see. All right, so let's share. Boom. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it, Morgan, in the live? Oh, yeah.
It's super.
All right, I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it bigger.
All right.
Hold on. Bigger. I hear it. I understand.
Here we go. I can see it. We're good.
It's getting bigger. There we go. So, all right. So here's what's up. So this is User Gems. Shout out to Trinity. What's up, Trinity? Nice work here for sending it over. And then I think, hold on. I don't want to just not shout out. There was someone else who sent a very similar message. So User Gems, what's up? So check out their email here. Hope you're well, safe and well. So here, I'll let you go. So tell me what you like here. Tell me what again, when you look at this really quick, what do you see here like that kind of jumps out at you?
Yeah. I like the fact that if he did that deep research on the Google and he brought that reference up, that stands out to me if that's relevant.
Dude, this guy was look. He pulled. This is a case study this dude did with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like, I tell people to pull up case studies all the time. So that to me is what's standing out the most. I mean, once I see that, it's like, okay, like yeah. I gotta take that meeting. I like he brought stats in. That's credible stats from Forrester and HubSpot. Like that's always good. But I mean, for me, it's really that Google, that client, and then boom, that you see that picture down there. That to me connects it. And then obviously he came with a value prop. But I mean, those things right there are the key. I mean, obviously you brought this up, so obviously compelled you to bring it up to the crowd. But those are the things that I see immediately.
Yeah, I think, dude. Here's what I like. I think, maybe some feedback too for these guys is there's just too much. Like, also, look, hope you're well and safe. With buyers hesitant to buy, selling the previous, you should remove some of that hesitation. This to me, this is good, right? This is like, hey, like this is a better version of empathy. Now, how you could make this even better is to talk about me. What I think this is kind of missing, like, what am I going through as a CEO of a consulting firm? I run a, small sales consulting and strategy company. So, again, like the hope all is safe and well. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. It feels like there's really good content in here and you have information, but it feels like, again, it's like, as opposed to like, hey, look, as a CEO of a consulting company, I've got to imagine that, thinking about new revenue, clients may be pushing, et cetera, and so, if you're hesitant about reaching out or it's not working, what you might want to think about is re-engaging old people. And I found Rahul, this is what he's up to, is Google a client. I feel like it's missing kind of that piece for me, to where I think, to your point, it almost feels so spammy, where it's got like bolds and links in the top to where like I've got to get to the bottom to like be like, whoa, oh shoot.
Would have been better, to be honest with you, right? Like, the thing is, if you take out Raul, that sentence, like, I'd be like, no. I'd be like, I'm probably not gonna respond to that, because like the fact that he brought that up is what's saving it. But would have been would have been more unique here is if he took the photo, right, and put it in the middle of this email so you could see it immediately, right? You could ask a question if you go back to the hesitancy. If you were just like, hey, how are, like, with buyer says it's a buy, still in the previous tip, you could have just asked a question right there instead of saying, hope you're safe and well. Then like, hey, the reason I asked is because I was doing some research and saw that one of your clients was Google, boom, and then bring up that screenshot and then be like, this is how we're helping CEOs at your organizations, and then tie that into user tips. That's how I see it, to make it shorter. But the thing is, all the information is here, but I think to your point, you would like it a little bit shorter at the end of the day, because it does take a lot to get to that picture for what you think.
It is, but I wonder, I bet this is like somewhat automated, if I had to guess. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm kind of into it. Like, what I like about this is, like, you know, that this is a good example of where you can use like the beginnings of like a framework, but you can then plug it in. But yeah, you just got to be careful here. So, all right. So we've got some other folks here. So again, I think, look, when we talk about empathy and what needs to change, not all of you might have this, right? Not all of you might have a technology that can literally show me some dude who did a case study on my, like, this is a meeting. Trinity, reach out. This is a meeting.
Yeah.
Right. You better be watching right now. If you're not watching, you just blew that. Right. But this is a definite meeting. Right. So I do need to hit up Rahul too. He was a good dude. I liked him. All right. So I'm going to go to, and by the way, just so you know, I use Superhuman. Do you guys use Superhuman, Morgan, for email app?
I've heard about it. I don't use it. I've heard it's legit.
Dude, it is the easiest what is it? $30 a month, 40. It is the easiest that I pay for it for everyone in my company. It is the easiest investment to make. It allows me to, I'm probably 2 to 3x more productive than.
Really?
So shout out to Superhuman. I don't make a commission. I should. Okay. So I really do, man. So I think John Sherry is going to join us too. I don't know. I think he's going to join us in like a minute or two. Kara, has he joined yet? Okay. So when he joins, we'll go through Signified. So I got a couple other people here that have asked for some feedback. So one is around, let me go to Beyond Trust. So Beyond Trust and the folks over there. So I thought would be helpful too is just talk about some company messaging and what people are putting out, and, you know, really being smart or thoughtful about that in these times. I think a lot of marketers are going through this too, Morgan, that they're trying to think about this. And then, you know, Kara, do me a favor. Will you drop in the comments or maybe just join real quick? Like who from Beyond Trust was the one that tagged this? All right, she'll drop it in the comments. Kara's like, Jake, I'm not joining live. You're crazy.
I'm behind.
She's like, no, I'm doing this stuff behind the scenes. So, all right, so here you go. So you've got Beyond Trust, cybersecurity, crisis management during this. Let's see, what is Beyond? Let's try to take a quick peek and let's try to see.
No, cybersecurity.
Yeah, cybersecurity crisis management, I'm guessing, is probably what they do. Hopefully, I can understand that.
Yeah, they got some. We got some teams over here in Atlanta, so.
You know these guys? Okay, good.
I know a couple people. Yep.
Okay, good. So again, we got some posts here. You know, what are some things that are standing out to you? You know, so you're looking at Beyond Trust as the company. They got 800 employees. Actually, here, I can probably just figure out who it was real quick. Who was it? I don't remember who it was. Was it Ben Martin? Might have been Ben. So let's go back to.
So are we looking at the marketing or his sales?
Yeah, no. I want to go to the marketing. I want to talk about like empathy in the marketing message, because I think here's what I'm seeing, man, is a lot of people are getting their cues for how they should respond based on what marketing's telling them. Because again, I don't know, over the last 48 hours, I've sat down with one of our clients and their marketing leader was there. Sat down another, you know, company, 500 person company. I just agreed to spend an hour with and help them through some things.
Yeah.
And both of them had their head of marketing on. Their marketing head was like, yeah, we're trying to figure this out too.
Yeah.
So what are some things, if you're talking to a marketer, and these marketers are trying to empower their teams, right? Because marketing at times, I'm not going to say they want to control messaging, but maybe they want to have some input on it. So when you see something like this, you know, where you've got a company, it's a big 800 people, they got 22,000 followers, but look at if they get 5 likes, 1, 4, 14, like, again, like, how do you think about empathy? You know, you think about, okay, so I'm a marketing department, or I'm an SDR that works with my marketing and I want to help them. What can somebody like Beyond Trust, what can they be doing to, again, show more empathy, you know, and try to connect more?
This is where I feel like I'm going to say video for sure, but also this is a little different. This is where you should be talking to your customers more, and your content should be more focused on the buyers. And so what I would be doing in this case, I would reach out to, since they do cybersecurity, I'd be like, okay, CISOs, directors of security, architects, like, let's get them as the content. Hey, you're a CISO in the manufacturing industry. Can you just come on here and just tell us like what's happening in your industry? And then how is Beyond Trust helping you, right? I would just get so many customers on the content side instead of just talking about us. I'd be like, yo, let's just get our clients that we already have, right? You got a pretty big organization right now. Get all your clients and just get them in panels, interview them, videos, get them to do write-ups, right? And then get them also to document like, hey, like how are they handling it during this time? What are some things that they're cutting back on? And what are some things that they're looking to invest in? So it helps the community within security to understand like what are these buyers going through? And so sales reps can truly lead with empathy instead of just saying like, hope everything's great, but here's my product real quick.
That's right.
So that's what I don't see here is, hey, we're talking about things that we're doing, but what are the clients concerned about? Like, where's like a concern panel? Like, hey, like we're freaking out too, and this is why.
That's right, man. I think you're spot on. That I agree 100%. Like it's all about us. You know, it's not really, honestly, it's not even acknowledging what's happening. You know, a little bit. You know, again, but this to me, guys, this is not empathy. With the rapid development of coronavirus, COVID-19, many security professionals have begun exploring their disaster recovery protocol. Let us pitch the shit out of you. You know, it's like why now? Like I don't quite get it. Like why now? Like why is that now? Like why is disaster recovery now the thing? And I think that there's ways that you can link it. You know, it's like that you can show empathy. You can say, look, you know, right now is your, you know, to me, you know what I think they should be talking about? Working remote. Right now you have 800 and how many they got? They got 802 employees. You have 802 employees working remote. Hey, Johnny Smith, you guys have never had a remote workforce before? You guys want to think about data security? You know, like that's what I'd be talking about. You know, like again, but I think companies are struggling right now to just twist that value prop. What's relevant right now? It's you know, versus like
it's tough, right? Because you have your whole content calendar of like, this is what we were going to do for the next 6 months, right?
It's the same thing as automating sequences or cadences. Morgan, it's identical. It's identical. When you put your content calendar on autopilot, you are guaranteeing to have 4 likes on every single post, even though you got 22,000 followers.
Absolutely. And then
all right, man.
That's what's happening. So,
all right, John Sherry, are you there? Kara, do we have John? Is John joined now? I got a person live. We're going to do our first ever. This is going to be like a call-in almost.
Yes. Come on, John.
Let's see if it worked. Kara, can we bring him live? Let's see what's going on. She's working on it. I can tell. Says he's joined. He's joined the broadcast. I can pull him up. I'll pull him up real quick. I got his stuff right here too. He's over at Signified. That's his jam. Hold on. Let's see if she's texting me here. Can't see his video. John is trying to join. Link in the comments. Can't see his video. All right, John. So here's what I want you to do. If you can't join, this is about to be an epic moment where John Smith is going to be the first ever call-in guest on a. Well, we've tried to do some call-ins before. But here's what I want you to do, John. If you can't join, because I saw that you were in the comments too. Just drop your messaging in the comments or drop your question in the comments, and we'll try to get at that for sure. So definitely do that. And again, for a lot of you, just make sure you do that. Like, look, guys, be selfish right now. Like, I'm kind of disappointed. Not a single person has stepped up and just dropped that email template. Like, guys, be selfish. Now is not the time to worry about fronting like you're crushing it right now. You know, now's the time to really think about like, hey, like get some help. Like we're sitting here spending, you know, an hour out of our time to help everyone. And, you know, we want to make sure that you're selfish, you know, give that feedback. So let's just look at, here's what we'll do. First, we'll go to John and let's see some of the content John's maybe sharing online here.
All right.
What's up, John? Hopefully you can join at some point. Okay, here you go. He's commenting on the LinkedIn Live. So that's a good thing. We know that John is alive.
He's active.
The corona hasn't got him yet. Okay. All right. So again, let's take a look at some of the things he's sharing. So again, he's obviously active here. He's sharing content worth reading on what we know, you know, how we're facing our current challenge. Obviously, we don't have to get into the whole, like, don't reshare posts, guys. Just don't reshare posts. LinkedIn's going to crush your engagement. You can't ever reshare posts.
I feel like that's ridiculous so that they do that, to be honest. But is what it is.
Well, because here's the problem though, Morgan, here's what you got to think about. The reason they do it, I'll tell you why I like that they do it to some extent, is because most people just reshare the post. They don't add any original thought. If people would spend the time to add original thought to it, then I'm for it. But if you're just using it as like a safety blanket, your feed would be nothing but reshared posts. There'd be no original content.
True. Then I mean, they should put a character limit on it. I just feel like at the end of the day, like the share, at least from a Facebook standpoint, back in the day, right? That was like the move.
Dude, I appreciate. Look, trust me, I'm sure for guys like you and I, right, it would probably boost our reach exponentially more, right? Because people would just reshare our posts as opposed to commenting or things like that. Like a lot more people would reshare, right? I mean, obviously they already do reshare, but because again, and so John, I think, look, when you're trying to show empathy, like I'll give my 2 cents on what John's up to. Summarize what you took away from it, right? Summarize like, hey, this is my take on this. And that's the same for all the posts here. So if anyone's resharing, and again, what I love is like, one, John's being very relevant. He's calling out what's happening, but also how does this connect back to what you do? How does this connect back to, boom. All right, we're back. John Sherry. John, what's up, man? You just single-handedly crashed LinkedIn Live. I gotta, where's my White Claw? I got White Claw for that.
Shout out to John.
So again, what do you see, man, when you see this stuff? And again, we're trying to talk about empathy and things that people can do to stand out. Again, I don't know. Do you know Signify? Do you know what these guys do?
I've seen the company name before. I don't know exactly what they do.
Let's take a look. They are revenue optimization, automate orders, eliminate fraud is what they do.
Okay. So, I mean, biggest thing, this is just for everybody. Like, I'm going to give you like additional advice here. So I did this as an SDR, and when I have more time now, so I'll probably start doing it again. But I would always just go find industry podcasts, right? Pretty much all industries have a podcast, and all the key influencers and the people you're trying to target are on there in some degree or fashion, right? Obviously, it's easier for sales. It's easier for marketing. Customer success has it too. But those are things that just to think about, right? So in all that being said, what you should really focus on is finding a podcast and being like, hey, I listened to a podcast with whoever you're targeting. Here are the 3 things that I got out of it, and then tag that person. So when I did that, the response rate was always 90 to 100% because I took the time to listen to the podcast and the person responded. Now, again, that's an extracurricular, but if we're looking at this example, like every time you take an article or whatever, just be like, hey, just read this article. It was great. It was written by so-and-so. And then say, here's the main thing I got out of it. And then tag 2 clients and a prospect to create that engagement. Because then what's going to end up happening is that, hey, you learned something, right, about your industry. You mentioned 2 clients. That's a safe haven. They're going to reply to you because they're going to realize that you're from that company. And then that one prospect you've been trying to reach out to, they're going to reply to that as well. So that's something that I personally did as an SDR to schedule meetings and to get in the right circles, to connect with people on LinkedIn, to schedule meetings. And again, I do it from time to time today, not as much. But if you're really looking to build brand or be a subject matter expert or put yourself out there more, that is something that I would focus on to create context around your content just as a whole.
All right. It looks like we had a glitch too. I think we had to like jump over to a different live stream. That's all right. We've already got 50 people back. They'll all come back. It's for you, Morgan. Everyone wants to hear it because they know, you know what it is, dude. It's like you've actually been there and done it. I think, look, but just like you're like, dude, I haven't been there and done it in this environment. You know what I mean? Like this is new for a lot of people, and I can, I remember for me, I was, I was at, we'll jump someone else. So I was at Career Builder, right? I joined in 2006. And so I was selling job postings in 2007, 2008, 2009, and then joined, Glassdoor in 2010. And so, look, people are still buying. I was the #1 manager for 2 years in a row at 25 managers. Why? Because I trained my team how to understand our buyers, and my team knew how to communicate with, someone who's an engineering leader or whatever leader. And so for everyone out there, like my biggest advice to you right now is why my team still thrived and did well is they cared about their buyer. And my very first question as a leader, every single thing, we want to talk about a deal, how do they make money? If you don't know how your clients make money, again, go listen to an industry podcast, tag your buyers in, use them, ask the dumb questions. Ask like, hey, look, I've never worked with a pet supply company. How do you guys like ask those questions? I think a lot of people are scared to ask their buyers, like, you know, hey, like, and right now, team, like, you're having a conversation with someone. Why don't you ask them, hey, John, like, hey, as a VP of Ops, what are you going through right now? Yeah. What's going on with you?
What's happening?
Yeah. What's popping, right? That's what they say now. Morgan.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
brand new whip just hopped in.
Yeah, but you got to know that stuff, right? I think it's just tough right now because, again, everyone's trying to still being asked to do volume. People are still uncertain. People are still like, I don't even know what's going to happen next. But if you take that time to do that research, it's going to help you out a lot. All
right, Ryan Donahue is going to send one in. This is good. Yes, share it now, Ryan. All right. All right, so we'll get some other people who share some email. So the next person up, so again, this is John over at Signified. Again, just taking a quick peek over for all like my marketing people out there. Mm-hmm. You know, again, you know, here's what I would say is, you know, you want to make sure that you're, you know, this is how it's affecting big and small, you know, decisions to loosen requirements, all that. Like that's how I would think about this in particular for a lot of you is like, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Just show over, boom. Okay. So again, it's like, you know, UPS, so this is cool. Like, I like what they're doing here because they're trying to actually, you know, they're actually featuring something else that's on their blog, which again, like, you know, shouldn't like always do that. But, you know, they've got 5,000 followers. But again, I think for a lot of marketers out there, marketers are struggling with this just as much.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, man, they are not used to this, you know? So again, it's just like, with the right tools, they can embrace this, you know? So what are you seeing here? You know, again, going back kind of similar to we talked about Beyond Trust. What are you seeing here from you know, cause again, like a lot of these people, they're taking their cues from their marketing department.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like this because they're taking a stand here. It's different. I'm seeing like people, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I can relate to what's happening here. Again, I think it'd be interesting, right? Let's go back to that Signified will stand by you. I don't know what that article says or what that means, but I think it'd be interesting to see, like, what does that mean? Can I see the people and what they're doing? Can I get live stories?
Yes.
That was really cool. Again, I don't exactly know what that says, but I think it'd be pretty cool if they could be like, okay, you know, we're standing by you, and then next week it's like, here's how we're doing it. We got Sally, we got Adam, right? Like showing like what's really happening. I think, you know, I was telling someone today, they were like, they're just starting out as an AE, and like, what should I do? And I was like, honestly, this is perfect. They're like, why is this perfect? And I was like, if I was a SDR, AE, leader, marketer, it doesn't really matter. I'd be documenting this time. Like, this might never happen ever again, right? So like, to be like brand new in a sales position and document like, hey guys, I don't really know how to sell through a pandemic, but this is what I'm doing to go through it. That's what people should be doing instead of being like ignoring it or just saying, hey, here's just what we're doing and just to show face. Like, show the documentation, the journey of what you're doing during this time. Like, personally, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, like, I don't know what exactly to do, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. And I've been sharing best practices with people, and we're just we're attacking it because we don't know necessarily what's going to work, but we know we have to do something. So I would encourage you all, whatever position you're in, to document what's happening, so that you can tell that story when this all said and done here.
Yep. And I think, look, we've got some people here. So we've got some other email folks too, which I appreciate. So Ryan Donahue dropped his in here. What I'm gonna try to do, the problem is it's kind of distracting. It's like you and me talking, and then you're watching me and you talking. Here's what I'm gonna do. I got an idea. Look at technology, man. I'll figure this out. I'm smart.
Yeah, technology is the best, right?
Let me try to figure this out. And as I say that, okay, I'm going to drop it into a Google Doc. Boom. Docs. Google Docs. Right. Copy and paste this shit over. And I'm going to paste two of them over because there's two people that dropped it in. So then I don't have to come back. Yeah, Stephen Norman called us out. What's going on with you? Isn't that like what keeps you awake at night? Shouldn't we be a bit more insightful? Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so Evan Kutchuk. Dude, I am real bad with names, man. I don't know about you.
Yeah, try when you go to the Nordics and you don't know how to say English.
Oh yeah, that's the worst, man.
I'm like, guys, I don't know how to pronounce any of y'all's names, man.
I know, man.
Like minutes to get it together. There's hard names out there, especially in Ireland too. I'm like, I don't know how to say his name. So it's all good though.
Yeah, me too. Well, Ireland. That's exactly what I was going to be up. There's this dude. We were over there with LinkedIn on what was it, January, and this dude. We were with this group, and Ireland has 92 different ways to spell the name Owen.
Oh,
and one of the ways is like IOGHAN. I'm like Eogian. He's like, no, it's Owen. I'm like, man, that is not Owen. Like,
that's incorrect.
That is not. I don't care what your given name is, man. Your given name that is not Owen. I don't know if he thought it was funny, at least a little bit. So, all right, so okay, this is an interesting one here. Actually, you know what? Before we hop into this one, man, I want to look at this subject line. I got to be honest. A couple people said they like it. I don't love it. And here's the subject. Here's the subject line. And so this is from, man, Kiran Raj. I think I got that one. Kiran Raj, let me know if I got that right, because I do try to get it right. That's my whole point. I try to get it right. Okay, so his subject line, this is a different email. This one's from Ryan Donahue. His subject line, can you see this, by the way?
Let's fight this together, that one?
Yeah, so this is that, guys. This is Kiran Raj. This is his. Yeah. First name, let's fight this together. I don't love it, man. I feel like it
depends on what the first sentence says. We got to see what the first sentence is before I can agree.
All right, Kiran Raj, hey, do me a favor. Drop your first sentence in here. All right, so we can understand like what it actually is.
If it brings it together, then I'm all for it. But I got
okay, yeah.
I gotta know what it says.
That's right. Liam said, "Hit me up if you need help with the Irish pronunciation, boys."
I need it, man. Dude,
Thank you. I need help with all of it. Man. I grew up in a.
Oh my God! What's this?
All right, so here we go. So let's go on to Ryan's then. Hey, Scott. Oh, hold on. Let me tell you what his subject line was too. Ryan actually dropped his subject line in here too.
All right, cool.
So what's up, Ryan? Man, Ryan, we got to catch up, man. It's been a while. Do you know Ryan Donahue? Have you met Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I know. Good dude.
Here to help is his subject line. So here to help. And so this is it. I'll let you take a crack at this one. This is Ryan's right here.
All right, cool.
And again, let us know if this is helpful, y'all. Drop a like, comment, tag your team back in since we lost everybody. Drop a like, drop a heart for Morgan. Morgan said he likes the heart one. I like that's me. I like the heart one.
The heart, and that's showing love. So my thing is that help companies is too vague right there, right? Like figure out like which companies. And again, I don't know who exactly you're talking to, but since you said you were reaching out again, that means that you have context of who you're talking to. So I would be like, hey, look, let's talk about the first sentence. Yeah, I'm going to the second one because the second one is important. Like figure out like which companies have you helped in the industry that the person you're reaching out to. Because it's just like, hey, we've helped companies. All right, cool. I've helped reps, but it's too vague for the person to understand that. They might not take a meeting because they're like, oh, well, it's too vague. I'll move on. And then on the first part, right, I would just directly say, hey, hi, Scott. Things have been changing lately, period. And then I would go into, based on those changes, we are helping, I don't know what job title that you're going after. Job titles like yours solve this problem in this industry.
Yeah.
Solution. And then you go into the value prop, and then you go into the companies you've helped. And then you could be like, if this is relevant in any way, let's set up a conversation. And then if not, it's completely fine, right? Because you can have that the frictionless piece there too from a call to action standpoint. So like that's what I would tweak there, because right now it's vague and it's kind of just like a touching base and checking in.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Like, okay, that's most likely going to get deleted, right?
Immediate delete. This is an immediate archive.
That's my feedback, but Jake, you can take it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. This is an immediate archive for me as a CEO. I think, again, here's the thing, guys. If you don't know a couple of people you've worked with in their space, if you don't know like their industry and their sub-industry, guys, just put the email down and go do some research. You cannot help someone in sales if you don't know what these people actually do, no matter how much. So I'm with you on this, like companies, right? But I think the key is like what happens is we've got this message up here, which is like, I think this is what a lot of people are sending right now, Morgan.
Yeah.
Things are changing, But but it doesn't tie it together. It doesn't then say, look, so to your point, so as a XYZ, you know, I would imagine, and instead of all the features, what's the 2 that are relevant now?
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee, and so I'm looking at, I'm going to try to guess, better insights to their inspection. Do I give a shit about inspection history? Probably not right now. I don't know, maybe. Regulatory body research. Am I doing research right now? Probably not. Update SOPs.
SOPs?
Maybe. Exactly.
I feel like that's relevant.
And training too.
Yeah.
Yep. Remote work. Hey, look. So, hey, John, right now you've got all these people that you're interacting with most likely globally, whether it's internally or externally. Right now, putting in place processes today, we don't know how long we're going to be in this, is going to be more critical than ever, and making sure people get up to speed quickly. If that's top of mind for you, let's set up time to meet. Boom. That is how you tie it together.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So again, and
but it's making sure, like, yes, you can address and say, hey, times have changed, but address the current state of what they're going through. Like, I'll give you guys an example. Like right now, if I'm going after a sales leader, VP of sales, director of sales development, enablement, I know right now the main thing that they're focused on is how do I motivate and inspire my team while they're all remote. So I'm like, hey, look, things have changed. I hope you're healthy, but this is the current problem you're facing right now. Everyone's telling me that they're trying to keep their team motivated, inspired. Now, this is how we solve this problem. If you want to talk, cool. If not, it's fine. You want me on budget freeze. But you have to know, right, for all of us, you have to understand that what is the problem currently that they're going through. And again, this is the conversation I had last week with, again, Kevin, my mentor. We had this conversation of like, what is the buyer going through? Because if you're not in the current state, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're not going to take the time to take that meeting. Yeah.
All right. So this is good. All right. So Ryan, I hope that's helpful, man. I think it's like, it's almost there. Just focus in on what's relevant. Right. And I think that's what we're getting at here. So he dropped in the message, and then basically after this, he has a message from the CEO. So here is it. So let's fight this together. I understand that unfortunately your operations may be affected in these uncertain times, and every adversity lies a seed of equal or greater opportunity. A number of RTOs. So that's what I would do, is say that. And, you know, take advantage of this downtime to review their systems and processes. Man, I don't think they do, bro. Like, that's my first take, is like, no, they don't. Like, I think that's what you want them to do. But I think right now we're still in scramble phase. This might be relevant in 3 weeks, but this line right here, I don't love. I don't know. It doesn't feel that empathetic to me.
I will say some people are probably looking internally to review systems and processes. You know, I know some people are like, yeah, we're reviewing that, but what I'm trying to look at right now is the message from the CEO. Right? Because that in itself could be sent out at volume and not be personalized. I'm thinking that. And then
I agree.
I would turn those first 2 sentences into a question, right? So, hey, I understand unfortunately operations may be affected in these uncertain times. In every adversity lies a seed of, I would just say, hey, how you can tie all these 3 questions or these 3 sentences to one question. You can really say, how are you currently evaluating your systems and processes during this uncertain time? And then say, hey, the reason I'm asking this question is because we're working with organizations that are taking the time to review their system and processes, and this is how we help them bounce back stronger than ever.
Yeah,
we work with clients like XYZ to get them the help in these areas. And if you want to chat more, I can share. Don't give them what the CEO says. Hey, if you want to chat more, we can hop on a call and I can discuss with you what our CEO is outlining for our clients right now. Like, so now they're like, oh, whoa, the CEO is telling you to reach out on behalf of, you know, him or her. Okay, cool. Let's have that conversation. So laying out what the CEO is saying is probably.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? So he sends a video from the CEO. Jen Ferguson says like that could be impactful. What do you think? So it's going to be, obviously it's a generic ass video, right? There's
generic,
nothing.
That's what I'm saying. If it was from the CEO for that account, that's powerful. But if it's
super powerful,
generic, they're going to realize, oh, okay, this is what they're sending out to everyone, so I don't feel special. And that is coming from a place of doing over 500 to 1,000 videos of generic versus personalized. And we just saw the personalized videos got more responses because we ran an executive campaign on those. So I'm just speaking from pure experience on doing this from an outbound perspective, that people will sniff out the, all right, that's generic from the CEO, from like, no, hey, look, I'm targeting you. I'm the CEO and this is what I got to say. Like, that's powerful. If it's generic, it's kind of like, okay, they're just running this against everybody because they're in scramble mode, and you don't want to look like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Evan, like in that, he's like, I got a call back from one today. The key is making the voice brief and intriguing. Pre-record. I can't get down with that. Evan, I don't think you should be pre-recording voicemails right now. You know, like I feel like now is the time where a little bit of that extra whatever, I think it's going to set you apart. So, all right, so we got another one here. So this is from, hold on, I want to make sure I get it correct. Can you, Kara, can you tell me who this one's from? I can't, or you can actually hear. You know what I'll do? Let me save myself some time. Let's just drop this. I'll stop. I don't want to do any of that. Never mind.
Going rogue.
Kara Davis. There you go. What's up, Carolyn Betts, too? Not to be confused. Kara, can you drop in whoever's name this is, please? This is my current email. Okay. Subject, question for you. Okay. I hope it's a question mark, not a period. Hi, decision maker. Just got off the phone with this. They're very kind and helpful. Love that. Always love this. Love that. Let me know you'd be the person to have a quick 5-minute chat with regarding the practice. Right. So we talked about this. I mean, obviously, I think this opening's good. You know, this is super. I think this is really good because this has to be personalized, right? I know immediately that at least this part of this shit is personalized. Yeah. And then it's like, man, lazy, just lazy. Like I'm like, dude, just like you had me. And then it's like, what about the practice? You know?
I like the subject line I don't like.
Yeah,
here's why. Because that can come off as very marketing, and that might get deleted by someone who's an executive like Jake, because he's gonna be like, question for you. What? Move on. Like, I'm just speaking on your behalf right now, but I'm feeling that's how you probably feel. Am I correct? Incorrect?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking here is, this is what we did with my former team, is any time that we had a referral, we would say, let's say it's Sally, right? I'd be like, I talked to Sally and I'm getting referred to Jake. I'd be like, Jake, right? Sally first, like, let's say Sally Winters. Jake, Sally Winters suggested we connect. That's a powerful subject line. Oh, okay.
64%. I'm going to tell you that we had a client that sold into legal tech.
Yeah.
And what we would do, this is some moves for y'all. It only works with big companies. We would call the CFO's office. We say, hey, Susan, you know, obviously we get like the secretary or the secretary person. And you're like, hey, Susan, look, I've talked to a bunch of people. Who actually handles like all the billing for like legal and outsourced? Oh, that's John Henderson's office. Okay. So that's not your office as, you know, your team's office as the CFO. So it's like referred from, and then the name of the CFO's office. 64% open rate, 25% reply rate.
Nuts. Another nuts strategy.
Yeah.
So use Jake's to suggest we connect.
It's the same thing. Yes, it's similar. It's exactly what you said. It's identical.
I would take the question for you out, right? And then the body piece, you need to be like, the reason I'm reaching out to you is when we had our conversation, this is what we talked about, right? So let's take it back. When someone says, here's the person you need to connect with, you do need to ask them, hey, is this top of mind for them right now, right? And then if they say yes, then it's like, okay, so what exactly about this is top of mind for them? So you can get some details. So then on this second sentence or second paragraph, you can be like, hey, this is the reason why I'm reaching out to you. And here are the key things that we're talking about. And then you can go into, when are you free for a brief conversation? Yeah. So that second paragraph, if you did have a conversation with somebody, it has some contextual information. So they're like, okay, they got something out of that person, at least.
All right. So Evan, hopefully that helped, because Evan's the one who had some of these questions too. So hopefully that helps. So again, like what we're kind of saying is it would be more like, like conversation with, XYZ. And then you might even want to go with like a time to connect, and then so this is the thing that you messed up. This is just a personal thing for me. I always recommend setting a date and time. So I want to set it. This is a VP, so I'll probably put 4-1. Actually, it's the first day of the month, so I'm going to be sensitive. I'm going to say 4-2. Let's say conversation with Susie Smith, time to connect 4-2. This open rate is going to be bonkers, bro. I promise you this open rate, I promise this is going to be at least 50%, maybe 60. You start to do this instead of what I just told you to do, bonkers open rate.
Yeah.
Now you have to promise to share it. I just hate this, man. The what time is date works for you. This is more of just getting into email stuff. What have you found successful, man?
See, this is interesting because normally if it's an executive, I would be like, are you free at these certain times and be very granular.
Right.
But I saw a post the other day and they were like, well, due to these times, like, do you want to be that aggressive with the call to action? And I was like, it made me think about it. And I was like, does that matter if I'm telling them exactly what it is? Like, I really thought about it, and I don't have the answer for that right now, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I would say not be as aggressive, like, hey, meet at this time, because we all have to realize right now is that people are dealing with things not only professionally but personally. Like, so, you know, they might have a son or daughter that was about to graduate and now they can't graduate and walk on the stage, right? Or maybe they had someone come from home, right, and they lost their job because they were in the service industry. So, like, I'm just saying that there's a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know by being direct with a call to action would rub people the right way.
Yeah, I'm into that. I can get that.
Just to be real with you guys. So that would be my advice if we weren't in these times. It would be like, you need to be direct. Tell them what date. Tell them the time. Maybe this is where you got to be a little bit, okay, when are you free for a brief call? Or if this is interesting, then let's set up a conversation. Like, I'm leaning more on that route right now because of just where people's mental state is at.
Yeah, could you? I mean, or maybe I'd suggest like a couple weeks. You know, maybe I'd say again, like, so today's what, the 25th, right?
24th. Yep.
So I'd say, hey, look, you know, I'm sure like the next couple of weeks are going to be a little up and down. How does April, like, hey, I've got, you know, let me know how the morning of April 6th or April 7th looks. Yeah. And obviously we can play it by ear when we get closer. You know, something like that. I just like the date, because here's the thing, as a CEO, and, you know, Morgan, you're working with John, but you run your own, you know, kind of mini business too, right? Like, as a part of this. And, you know, when you ask me, say, Jake, what's your calendar look like later this week? I'm like, it's fucked. Like, you know, like, it's fucked. You know, but
it's disastrous.
It's a disaster. But if you say, Jake, what's your calendar look like at Monday between 10 and 12? I'm also open Tuesday between 3 to 5. What most people don't realize, you're actually making my life easier. And I think that is what a lot of people just don't get, is they think that they're making it harder, you know? And so, but you're not, I'm telling you, you know, James Savage, the secretary is always Susan, Jake. I know, I'm sorry. I should not do, but I always have to do this. Jake Jacobson, where can I submit my messaging? Dude, you can just drop it in here. You can DM me. All right, y'all. So it's about 6:51. We probably have time for maybe to do a couple more. We'll try to kind of dive in here. So this is Julian. This is, I think this is Julian. Yeah. Julian Meyer. What's up, Julian? How are you, man? Hope you're doing good. So here's his email. Let me know what you think. His is not, I didn't get a subject line for him. His is just the email.
Okay.
Here. Might have some other ones too, so I'll copy and paste. I'll try to get to one more, guys. You play basketball?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played in high school, 2 state championships.
Oh, fuck, man. I played in high school too, but we did not win 2 states.
Yeah, man. Balling. I hurt my Achilles now, so I can't. So I balled too hard, but yo, back in high school days, we were out here.
I know, I could too, man.
All right, I got some critique on the last one.
I'm gonna drop in this guy because he's gonna be the last one. Okay, all right, let's go for this.
So I'm assuming this is Outbound because you said I came across.
Yeah.
So that first sentence, I do not like introducing myself at all. There is no purpose in doing it, and here's why. Because unless you are The Rock, Bill Gates, right? Like Tom Cruise,
Bill Gates.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're one of those if you're one of those people, Barack Obama, like, cool, put your name and where you're from. But the chances of someone being like, oh man, you're Sally Forrest from Forrester, like, they're not going to get fired up. So like, the thing is that, like, completely take that out, because again, that's all about you and not the prospect. And this is something that I had to learn when I was first starting out. like just completely just getting rid of like, this is my name and this is what I'm coming from, because that's not get the meeting. And just this advice for everybody. Think about the things that like get you meetings versus the things that don't get you meetings. Has anyone ever responded to your email and be like, you know what? Oh man, you're a senior MA analyst? Like, let's have a conversation. You know, like,
oh man, this guy's killing it. Yeah.
Has no one ever been like, oh man, you know what? You're an AE? Like, look, that's never happened. So and this is just being like real with you guys, like stay away from that and just go right into the value. Because again, I just train a lot of people. I've never had anyone be like, yeah, I put my job title and I got a meeting. So don't put things in there that don't get you meetings, right? So that's just advice there. Next thing is, you came across, I'm assuming that's where you put your insights there. So I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, let's assume that that's really customized. Let's say it's not just company name. Let's give the benefit of the doubt that this isn't just company name.
Yeah, I'm saying like you came across maybe like a 10K or something like that. I don't know, like I think if you made that
Crunchbase, maybe something like that.
Yeah, like that'd be really good. And then I think the last part, you're saying here's what we're looking for. I feel like you're trying to disqualify them and making them feel bad if they're not in that criteria, and you haven't had that conversation with that person yet. So if I got this and I don't fit the criteria, I'd be like, who are you? Like, what? Like, that's how I would feel if I saw that and I didn't fit the criteria. I'm like,
is that okay though? I mean, you know, is that okay that, you know, someone looks at this and it's a little bit like, well, we're only doing 800,000. I guess that's the point, right? 800,000, you're like, look, man, we're going to be doing $1 million in X. Yeah, maybe. I could see both. I think it's a good point. You know, it's like, it could be like, you know, look, many times we're like, it can be a best fit if, you know, like, as opposed to like, here's roughly what we're looking for. Obviously, Julian's from New York, right? Like, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I know Julian, so I know he's from New York.
That's what I'm seeing there. And then, but the call to action, I like the call to action.
Yeah.
I like the call to action. I really like it because it's like, it's saying, hey, I know it's uncertain, but if you do want to chat, let's do it. I don't know how I feel about those 3 bullet points because I feel like it disqualifies a lot more people than it qualifies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's maybe just a way to say the same thing in a different way. You know, like to say, to get the point across, like, hey, look, if you're here or almost here, you know, or like, hey, here's roughly what's a good fit for both sides, you know, as opposed to just you. And I think the other thing is that there's just not enough, you know, hey, look, with a lot of company, you know, again, like I feel like, especially because you have cash, right? There's a lot of companies that need cash right now. So I feel like there's an opportunity here to say, you know, hey, look, with times might be uncertain right now. If you guys are thinking about, you know, you still need to want, you know, looking to bring in revenue or sorry, looking to bring in money, et cetera, then, you know, let me know and, you know, make sense of it. Let me know if it makes sense to chat. So I feel like we just tie it in together. I feel like it's kind of missing that a little bit,
for sure.
You know? And I think if he added that, so, all right, so last one. So there you go, Julian. Not bad. Maybe a little, you know, a little harsh here, but all right. So it looks like we got a Yankees guy. Who's your team?
I'm a Braves fan.
Braves. All right.
Yeah, you know, Atlanta.
I'm a Royals fan, man.
We struggle. Hey, you got the cheese though. You won. You're
I know. Thank you. I know. You have to tell me, man. Shit.
You're winning stuff. We're losing out here. So.
What do you? He's got Todd Gurley. You got to be excited about Gurley.
We do have Gurley. That's going to be exciting.
Still got Matt Ryan.
I don't know, but like I'm hoping that Gurley doesn't get hurt. That's my concern.
That's it. Of course he's going to get hurt, dude.
But if he's beast, we have Gurley, Jones. Like, all right, I'm feeling it. So we'll see.
Yeah, my son. The reason I was asking about basketball, my son, he's 5, and I can't imagine if we had this. There's a new app. It's called Dribble Up. So listen to this. It's basically this basketball that here. I guess I'll stop my screen share so you can actually see me like do the motion.
I need to see this.
Hold on, actually, dude, I got to tell you, 5, man, this kid's. Hold on, I don't know if I can actually get him in there at this short of a time frame. But so it's an app, and it's got a ball, like a little youth ball that tracks the iPad. So you set the iPad up, it tracks the ball, and you just do drills. And so my kid is 5, just crossing. Then it's like, dude, he is so much better than me at age 5. So much.
You can do drills with it.
Dude, you can do dribbles. And his right-hand power dribble, like the kid's 5 years old. I kid you not. 20 seconds. I saw it the other day. 74 dribbles with the basketball.
That's so
Dribble Up. Dribble Up. That's my advertisement for Dribble Up. So,
yeah, that's sick.
And I'm like, dude, I was like, don't ever think. But don't get me wrong. He tries to drive a lane, swat the shit.
Yeah, he's swat. Hey, but he's got the crossover. He's got the crossover on you. So
no. The problem is the league that he plays in. They don't let kids steal. So he still does it. He still puts it out there. And then I've got it. The best part is I taught him, if you reach, I'm going to teach. And now so now he's like, Daddy, let's do it. If I reach, you teach. And I'm like, dude, I'm just going to break your little ankles right now. I still got it a little bit. I was like, because the thing, I've been doing that little dribble up at too. It's kind of fun. So
that sounds dope, actually.
It is pretty cool. So, all right. So let's go, Mike, you're last, but certainly not least, even though none of us are Yankees fans. In fact, I'm a Kansas City Royals fan. So I'm like the complete opposite of a Yankees fan. But look, I get it. Like you got, So, all right. So here's Mike. Mike says, opening day nostalgia. Hi, X. Hope you and your staff are getting used to the new remote work lifestyle. MLB season delayed. I thought you'd enjoy seeing some of the best moments from opening day. Link. Okay. As a technology partner to several teams in the league, we're reaching out. Okay. So they're a tech partner to the Yankees. Okay. So they're a tech partner in this world. Let's see. Hold on. Mike works at, let me tell you real quick. He's at Photo Shelter. Oh, shit. Sorry, Mike. I knew that. Photo Shelter. So what Photo Shelter does, just so you know, they are a what's it called? A DAM, a digital asset management platform.
Okay.
So basically what they do is they basically allow these people to really quickly organize that. And so he's actually Mike just sent me a message. He goes, I'm a Mets fan. Just emailing the Yankees. Okay. Good. I'm all right with the Mets. That's okay. So, all right. So here's what it is. So again, digital asset management. This is what they do, right? So they sell a platform that if you're the Yankees, you need to act. I mean, can you imagine how many, kind of images the Yankees have across?
Insane.
Yeah, right. So there's trademark stuff, et cetera. They help to make that a lot easier. They're a client, so I know them well. So here you go. So here's what you got. So what are your thoughts about this? So you're reaching out to the Yankees. You're probably reaching out to someone in marketing. Take a quick look. Let me know what you think.
I love the subject line.
I did too.
It's awesome. The subject line is like immediate. That's going to get open from anyone in the organization.
Yeah.
I like the first sentence as well, and I also like the call to action. I think the biggest thing here is that like we're reaching out to see what the Yankees are doing to keep fans engaged while we're eagerly awaiting the 2020 season. I feel like that's where you here you can be proactive to be like, this is what I know you guys are currently doing right now. Because if you have a technology partner with several teams in the league, you should know what the problems are with those other people based on the position you're reaching out to.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
You could be like, hey, as a technology partner to several teams in the league, we've talked to those teams, and this is what they're currently doing in the downtime, and this is how we're helping them. Insert the problem. When are you free for a virtual cup of coffee to discuss this? So then now it's like, okay, you've talked to these teams, you've addressed the problem to me. I am sitting here doing nothing, or I am addressing this right now. I now can have that conversation. That's like the one thing I'd fix, and then like this email's spot on.
Yeah, I think exactly right, man. I have literally nothing to add. It's like there's just no connection. Like it's like this. You're just like, one more sentence, like one more little twist on this, and it's like it's a home run.
Yeah,
literally, it's a home run. Like I did that.
I know. I heard it.
Yeah. No, that was all guess. So, all right, everyone. Well, look, I hope this is helpful for all of you. You're out there. You're trying to change your messaging. You maybe have had a couple of White Claws or whatever. So what is in your crunk cup, by the way?
Ciroc.
Huh?
Ciroc.
Just Ciroc.
Ciroc. Not just a whole. If it was just Ciroc, we'd be way more lit. No, it's Ciroc. It's Ciroc and Coke. Or Ciroc and soda.
Coke. All right.
Yeah.
Ciroc and soda. All
right.
Ciroc
is lit.
Ciroc, man, I haven't had Ciroc in like 15 years. I'm not kidding.
Ciroc.
That was P. Diddy's, right?
It's P. Diddy, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I mean, I remember when Ciroc first came out, right? P. Diddy was take that. He like had his
and then French Montana.
Well, look, I hope this is helpful for everyone. I think honestly, we gave. Look, I'm kind of like thinking about the last hour here. I think we got a lot of really tactical advice, man. I'm hoping that everyone can kind of look back, look at this, and see at least some ways that again, it's always about tying back the empathy. And if you look at this, it's always about okay, like. Am I really connecting it to what's happening, or am I just paying lip service to it? you know? And so that's my takeaway. What's your biggest takeaway from this, man? Like, what do you hope that people take away from all this?
I think the biggest takeaway is take time to write down, like, what are the problems that people are going through right now, right? I saw you post that too, but like right now, not like in 2021, like asking what their plans are. Like, no, like these are the current plans we know because we're talking to our clients and customers. And then also I encourage you all to be creative and innovative, right? Like push yourselves to another degree. Like I'm sitting here brainstorming, okay, like what else can I be doing? And I'm continuously trying out those things because it's now the time to try that. So if you haven't done video, hop on video. If you haven't done a voice message, hop on voice message. If you're trying out a new email format or a sequence or cadence, try that out because right now is the time to be creative and to push the envelope because there's no better time to do that because everyone's at home. So double down, triple down on prospecting because you're never going to have this opportunity where everyone is sitting at home and can't go anywhere. This is just not going to happen.
That's right. And I think, and now also like the only thing I'd add, man, is, and don't be discouraged if a few people get mad. If a few people, because you're reaching out, get upset or, oh, you don't know what time it is. Like, look, you're in sales, my friends. Like, and so that means, unfortunately, you know, we've got to try to bring some of this stuff to the surface. And I think don't be scared. Don't let this time scare you from like Morgan said, testing new stuff. Now is the time to test new stuff. Yeah. You know, there'll never be a time like this before. So look, Morgan, I appreciate it, man. For all of you, we've got a webinar series kicking off tomorrow from 2 to 3 every day. I've got some of our consultants joining in, talking about, you know, different strategies around outbound marketing, et cetera. So this was, you know, I wanted Morgan to talk about the tactical stuff because I know you're like me. I mean, I'm constantly thinking about the like nuances of outbound. Dude, I was telling someone this. I love $50 credit card over the phone sales more than $5 million sales. I love this everything about sales and getting in the dirt and like figuring this stuff out. And I feel like this is the time to get in the dirt, to try new things. There's never going to be a time like this, you know, maybe as long as we live, who knows, but yeah, it certainly is a crazy, crazy time with everything.
Yeah. I always tell people I love prospecting more than the close. I like getting the meeting. Like there's just so much that goes into obviously the sale, but there's just so much more that goes into like figuring out, all right, like what's the way to get this person to respond when the people are hitting them up. Like that to me gets me fired up. So I'm waking up every morning like, yo, all right, I got some new crazy LinkedIn strategy that like I haven't tried out before.
That's right.
Like we're just doing a lot of stuff over here and it's exciting.
I love it, man. All right, man. Well, look, I appreciate you joining me. Go have fun, finish your Ciroc. And we'll catch up later. I will, man. I might have another one. Don't judge.
All right, do your thing.
All right, man. We'll see everyone.
Peace.